Hey guys, it's your girl Devonsia here, and today I am having a little something called storytelling. A few of my friends have been asking how was my labor and delivery process, so I think I will just share my experience with you guys. I will not be leaving anything, try not to leave anything out. I'll keep it as natural and as raw as possible. It might be long-ish, but I'll try to keep the video as crammed as possible. So let's get into it, guys. So labor and delivery. I am not about telling nobody it was peaches and cream. I'm not about to tell you it was hell on earth or nothing like that. The experience for me was a little bit in between. I started my contractions on a Friday. My contractions started on a Friday morning. My due date was April the 25th, and I went to the beach that day because I didn't see anything happening, and my friends always told me if you want your contractions to start, you should be in the seawater for about 3 hours minimum. And I usually go to the beach often when I was pregnant because then that's probably one of the only things that could keep me cool and make me feel totally zen. So I went to the beach a lot, like a mermaid. Let's say that I felt like a mermaid. I belong to the sea. So every time I went to the beach, I realized I'd feel a bit of Braxton Hicks. I had some contractions. Some of them were intense, but it wasn't labor. So I figured going to the beach would help me get my labor kick-started when I needed to get into labor. So I went to the beach on the 25th, went around some rocks. I went a long way out, me and my boyfriend, and we was just there chilling and talking and stuff like that. And time during the walking I would feel pain, so I would go in the water and relax, and that's when, you know, labor started to progress. We then came from around the rocks where we were looking at fishes and stuff like that and having our little one-on-one time. No sex, just so you guys know. I couldn't have sex during my pregnancy because my child was resting low. So the doctors instructed me not to do anything, which was good for me because then I hear some say that during pregnancy your hormones are extremely high and whatever. I was not having no urges to be sexual, so me and my boyfriend was not intimate at all. So that's just one hiccup, or one good thing for me, because then I didn't really have a desire to do it anyway. So where I could go into the water. When I went into the water, we was there. I stayed close to the shore where the wave would come in and break. So it was tossing me around and getting stuff going. So by the time I got home, I was tired and I just needed to rest. I got something to eat. We watched TV for a bit and then we went to bed. I woke up to use the bathroom about 3:30 and everything was okay. I went, peed as usual, and everything was good. I got up around 4:30. When I went to the bathroom, I wiped myself and it felt sticky. So at this time I'm looking down at the tissue and I'm like, okay. I came back to bed and I was like, B, it's happening because I am starting now to pass my mucus plug, so baby could be coming any minute. He said okay. We continued sleeping. I got up again around 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, and went back to the bathroom, and it's the same thing that I saw. I continued sleeping because then he usually gets up early, get my breakfast going and stuff like that. So when I wake up, I'd have something to eat. I had this problem straight throughout my pregnancy. As soon as my eyes open, when I wake up out my bed, as soon as they literally open, if I don't eat or have something to put into my mouth, I would vomit. And I would vomit for the first few hours of the morning continuously. So he always made sure to wake up early before me to have something there for when my eyes literally open. That was stressing, but he had something for me to eat. So by the time I was opening my eyes, he was already walking into the room bringing me something to eat. But this morning was not one of those mornings. As soon as I opened my eyes and raised myself up out of my bed and sat up, that was it. I started feeling contractions instantly, and my hair was a mess because I didn't like to comb my hair. And while I was pregnant, I had some really long nice hair. I would leave a picture so you guys can see the before and after. This is where I'm at now, enjoying the growth, the natural transformation so far. I keep cutting because then, as you probably can see, still has some remnants on there, but I'm letting it grow out so that I can clip the rest off. But for right now, this is mainly where I'm at, my little fro. I have elastic around it, so I have good length to it so far. Still adjusting, don't really know much about natural hair. I've had permed hair or creamed hair for basically my whole life, so this is something new to me. So I'll be watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to best take care of my hair, because I want them to grow, I want them to be thick, I want them to be healthy. But back to the story. So by this time, I am in full labor mode. I am having contractions. He asked me at one point how constant are the contractions coming, and I was like, bitch, how the hell am I supposed to know how much minutes apart they are? I ain't got time to worry about how far apart they are. I am in pain and I had to lash out. Babes, I'm sorry, but you know, it wasn't me, it was the pain. I lashed out and I had to let him know. I don't know nothing about no minutes apart. I'm not counting nothing. All I know, them will come and them will hat me. And I can remember trying to comb my hair several times, and I was like, leave me alone, I don't want my hair combed. I was bracing my back against the wall and I was swaying from side to side. I was trying this breathing technique that everybody keep talking about, and most of the time I can remember myself holding my breath because I literally did not want to breathe. I totally shut down. I was not having it. And then I was like, you can't let this pain conquer you. You can't let this pain conquer you. You gotta put on your big girl panty and we gotta do this. I remember then telling him I'm going to shower to get ready, because then the pain was getting more intense and it was getting to the point where I didn't want to bear it no more. I agreed to bear most of my contractions home, because then, disclaimer, I'm not bashing our local hospital or anything, but anybody who is Antiguan or who has had baby or the experience of birth in our hospital here knows you go to the hospital and they think you're not in labor, or they see signs that you're not in full labor or labor at all and you're just having contractions. They will send you back home. No one wants to go to the hospital and experience that. You think you're in labor, you're having hot contractions, and get sent back home. So I bared most of my pain home. I went to the shower, and there's this labor position. I will leave a picture because I can't really demonstrate right now. I had my hands braced against the wall and I would swing from side to side, and the only thing that came to my mind was Dr. Daps, and I was in there in that bathroom with the water running on my back from the shower, and I had a piece of local wing cup. I was swinging this waist. I was pelting waist, guys. I was pelting it, and trust me, Dexter Daps helped me get through a lot of them contractions, because I was in a zone. So thank you, Dexter Daps. You sang them. I do it. So after I came out the shower, boyfriend tried combing my hair again because I was not having it. He eventually just brushed the perimeter of my hair and just pulled a ponytail at the top, and however he dropped it up, I tell him about that. My boyfriend drives more on the safer side. My bags were already packed and whatever months before, so we didn't have to worry about getting anything. And I was like, you can't take me to the hospital, because then the minute you start driving, I will get upset. The pains are going to take me over. I'm going to try my bond in the car. So I called my mother. Miss Heavy Foot. My mommy loved the gas pedal, and that's what I needed that morning. So my mommy came for me, and we were outside in the vehicle on our way. Going down All Saints Road, I felt a few contractions, but from my house to the hospital, I felt 3 major contractions there. I wanted to give up on life itself. I was through with it. One of the contractions, anybody can ask my mother. I was holding on to the side handle for her car. One of my hands was in the roof. My foot was on the back of her headrest for her vehicle, and I was sprouting backwards over the seat. My mommy has a little step wagon van, so I was bracing over the seat, so all you see is belly bracing over, and I was like, Mommy! I was out of it. Only to then end up on Adventist School Road, coming down from Otters and St. Mary's Primary School, or whatever that's primary school they name, Adventist School, and there's a line of traffic, and our traffic warden Paula was in the road giving everybody else at this T-junction pass. Everybody else will get go except for the road which Pammy did. And I was like, Mommy, please to beep, please to holler at Paula, please give some kind of signal, because if Paula gets out this road, she'll get pregnant, labor woman rage. I was ready to come out of this vehicle and let this woman have it. Anyways, I don't know, the Lord must have whispered to her or something, let her know, you need to get something done, somebody's here. She eventually let our road through, and almost the whole damn road of traffic went through, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. Pulled up to the front of the hospital, and from the vehicle to the hospital door, I was walking, holding my breath and my eyes closed. I got to the door, and the security and one of the nurses like, you can't have your eyes closed, you have to open your eyes. And I was like, I'm not about this life. One held my bag and somebody else was holding my hand. They opened the elevator door because I couldn't bother walk up to maternity, and from the elevator started to walk into maternity ward, and there's this doctor by the name of Dr. Steven. He was very pleasant, he was very understanding, very supportive. He held my hand and we stepped 1, 2, and with every step I had to inhale, exhale, deep breaths, and he was very, very calm. He was approachable, he was very patient. Thank the Lord for him. He took me straight into the delivery room. Then this nurse came and she checked and she was like, wow, I'm really proud of you and whatever, you're at 6 centimeters. And I was like, praise the Lord. I was like, sister friend about to get this on and popping. Hey, I didn't have much more to go, so it went by really fast, literally from then, because then I was at 6 centimeters. She went outside to get the other nurses and get her stuff ready. Whatever she go outside to get for herself, but most of the stuff that they need for labor and delivery clearly would have been in the room already sterilized, so in case they had any births taking place. And she went outside to my mother, who was in the waiting area, because you have to stay there unless the person is in labor. You can't be in the labor room. So I was just there to be checked to see if I'm ready to push, and then if I wasn't, I would have to go back outside to walk up and down. But thankfully I was in labor and it was progressing, so by the time she went outside to get my bags for the labor room with me and my baby's clothes and stuff for the room, and she came back and she checked again, I was at 9.5, and she's like, you're practically ready to push, so I'm going to get everybody and you can start pushing. She came in, everybody's in, and she's like, give us a push. And I start pushing and she's like, this is not going to work, you're not doing it. And I was like, oh hell no, this woman don't know that I am pushing with all I got. So she started to help the vagina to open. She's in there with her hand twitching around and moving, and I was like, oh, for the love of Jesus, somebody tell this woman section out of my vagina. And I was like, Lord, if you can, just please help me now. And I didn't like the uncomfortable feeling of her hand being inside of me and whatever, and I just started to push, and she's like, no, you're coming. And they started to tell me, you gotta push when the contractions are coming, and take a breath, relax, breathe when you're not having a contraction. After a period of time, I started to push. It was the best experience ever. Pushing, guys, pushing was the best experience ever. I thought it would have killed me, but I enjoyed pushing. I might be weird to some of you guys, but pushing was the bomb.com. So I can remember my legs going numb. My mommy and one of the nurses had to be flexing my legs, as a girl got thick thighs, you know, these say vibes, so thick thighs, so they had to be flexing them or whatever. And after a period of time, they had to put the mask on my face to give me some oxygen and stuff like that. And then in about 5 minutes after that, I gave like 3 or 4 really hard pushes, and then baby's head started to crown. Then in less than no time, her head was out, and one last push, and whew, whew, out she came. Yes, I did get cut. I got cut, guys. I got cut, and I got stitches from the front to the back. I got stitched on the sides, inside and out, and I got stitched from front to back. So the girl kind me properly cut down, bust down, because baby, when Roy was born, she was born 4 pounds, 8 pounds and 4.5 ounces. So she may be one fat baby. Then after she came out, and the stitching was more painful than them contractions. It was painful than pushing. And then after I got stitched up, they were waiting for the placenta to come out. Sadly, it wasn't coming out. My umbilical cord was about this long, no over exaggeration. Baby was low, so she didn't have much umbilical cord. Placenta wasn't coming out. I had to be just taken down to a theater where they had to put me on the general anesthesia and went in and did their thing and removed what they removed. And I don't know why they didn't tie off the tubes one time, but your girl then came back upstairs, went into the room. So I didn't even get to do my hour skin to skin with my baby. I just had to rush out, leave her pretty face. I didn't get to take no pictures of her in the labor room. I didn't get to see my placenta, none of the stuff that I really wanted to do. I didn't get to take no pictures, newborn pictures in there. Didn't get no pictures of me laying on the bed. Everything just happened so quickly, so there's no really sentimental pictures to that, of that experience. So that's probably the only part that really sucks for me. And then my baby father, my boyfriend, my love sponge, and everything in the labor room. But my queen was, my mommy was there from beginning to the end. Thank her for that. I praise her. Put a crown continuously on she pretty little head. And get into the room. Baby had to be latched on either breast or both breasts for 30 minutes each. And shit, nobody tell you that daddy had to. Nobody tell you say titty them feel like then they gonna drop a grong. Won't make nobody even tell me that. So I am there, and you know, you're being in a relationship, you're intimate or whatever, you're accustomed to have your significant other suck on your tits. It is nothing, child. It is nothing compared to when a child latch on that. Somebody should have been telling me my titty them would have feel like a pin, a sticking at them. It's like, stick me down. But I got over that. Occasionally they still hurt because then she's still breastfeeding. And the pain, sometimes I feel like I could just take my breast off my body or just give her a bottle and forget about this breastfeeding thing. But I still enjoy it because then I want her to go her 6 months and then I can introduce her solids. But because my cholesterol wasn't coming down, the hospital gives the baby formula. They don't give you bottles, or you don't feed the baby in bottles. They have some small little cups. I will look for a cup and put the picture so you don't know who you. They give you formula in the cups and you have to sit down and feed the baby from the cup. And they have some breast pumps up there. Disclaimer, guys, I'm not bashing the hospital. They put it on your list of things that you need. Excuse my dogs. They put it on the list of things that you need for the hospital, labor and delivery, that you'll need a breast pump. And I strongly advise anyone. Locally, they are ridiculous with the prices unless you go on Chinese store. And lost my train of thought. It is advised you have your own, because you don't really want to go to the hospital and use theirs. Nothing is wrong, but sometimes you want to be in the, not the comfort, but the somewhat privacy of your hospital room, where you have your curtain pulled and you can try and express your colostrum yourself. So it's safer and better to walk with your own. Some people's colostrum comes down right away, some doesn't. So please make sure you have your breast pump. Yes, Chinese store style. Anybody who interested and you don't know how to order, or you don't have the ability to order, yes, I'm promoting myself. I can order it for you. I have Upsprings that I will be selling in a few weeks. So anyone who is concerned about maintaining their milk production, I will have Upspring, and or a few of Upspring products for lactation. I'll have cookies, I'll have the supplement mix, the liquid mix, and I'll have a few other stuff that they have for lactation, and I also have the link in my description area, so just so you know. And then after that, you stay in the hospital for a total of 72 hours here in Antigua, or here I think Antigua, if not the whole Caribbean, for monitoring and just to make sure that everything in your body is going back to normal or starting its healing process the way it should be. You need pads. You need large pads that can support the way you will be bleeding after. Yes, there will be blood. Yes, it will be a lot. Some people even clot. But this is why you need to be at the hospital, so that they can monitor you, so that you don't just go home and something happens and then you blame the hospital. So you need to follow the instructions. Do not listen to what someone says about their experience. You don't know what happened, why they had a bad experience. I, for one, a lot of people tell me, oh, the hospital staff wasn't nice and did this and did that, and I tried not to go and start giving people a ton of attitude, because then that would not help no situation. I went up there for a week because I had a little hiccup with my pregnancy, so I had to stay at the hospital for like a week and a half. So I got to experience the staff one-on-one, and they were really nice. So going into labor and delivery, I had no worries or concerns about the staff, because then I knew who most of them were, and they were really nice to me, so I had it good. I was taken care of. The food was nice, even though I had food coming to me from like 3 different sources. My mother brought me food, my best friend brought me food, my boyfriend brought me food and stuff like that. I had snacks. I practically overpacked for the hospital, because then I know how I am. I need to be comfortable, I need to be prepared. I had stuff so that I could share, because that's just generally me. So I had no worries per se. So after I passed my time and it was time to go home, checking her and making sure everything is okay with her, everything was okay with me, I got a stamp to go, and I cleared out. First time coming home, about the first week or so, I could not sleep, and that was by choice. I enjoyed staying up while she slept and watching her. I enjoyed smelling her. I still do. I just enjoyed literally enjoyed every moment I could, or I can. I still do up to this day, because then life is not promised to anybody, and I will not be taking any moment for granted with my child. So that's about it. Would I go back to have a child? Yes, I would. When am I going back? Me no know, but I would go back to have another child. Yes, I'm healed properly. I'm just trying to remember some of the questions that were asked or have been asked previously at some point during my healing process or while I was pregnant. I've healed a good bit, or significantly better than I thought or I expected. When I came home, I had stitches. Some of them burst before I think they should have. I had to soak a lot. Yet to go back to my yoni steaming. I will be doing that probably in September coming, which is literally maybe tomorrow, but I'll be steaming soon. So the video gonna get long, so I'm gonna cut it off here. I might do a continuation of how I've been for the past 4 months with a baby, a new baby, how my life has changed, my morning or night routine and all of that. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your continued support. You don't know, subscribe to the thing, follow the thing on Twitter and on Instagram. Give a shout out, leave a comment, let us know, drop a share somewhere so that somebody, some new mom, some expecting mom, somebody out there, you know, can benefit. Not no professional in this mommy thing. Nobody really is, because you learn as the days go by. But as much as you can help somebody, try your best to help somebody, because everybody needs somebody at some point. So don't be mean, be super supportive, and I'm thankful for the support that I've been getting so far. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you.